Guys, how gratifying was it on Saturday to win in the fashion that you did? I guess Kemal, it might have been a little bit more special for you, but just to get your guys' thoughts, an overtime victory in dramatic fashion.
I mean, it was a good win. I mean, just getting off the field and knowing that the game was over and we finally finished what we had to do was great. I mean, everybody was excited, and it was a, real good way to end it with the crowd going wild and just everybody celebrating and happy for the win.
As Kemal said, it was a great win, being the fact that the last time we beat Southern Miss was like in 2007, and since we've been here, we never beat them. And that they was on our way to the conference too in this game, so it was very important that we got that win, and we fought to the end and came out to win. We was grateful for it.
Well, Coach talked about just you kind of expect certain players to be in the right place, and that you're a guy that you kind of, no surprise that you were the one to make that play. What do you think it is that lends you to be in those moments, those right places at the right time? The Georgia play, obviously, this one. What do you credit to having kind of that knack for the big play?
I mean, first I want to give credit to coaches. I mean, they put us in the right spot, put us in the right plays. We actually checked out of one play and got into another play, which put me in that position. And just experiencing just being here and going hard in practice and just playing hard in the game, I mean, it puts me in a good position for every play that I do and just not taking that play off.
Kemal, a guy that's played since his freshman season and now being a senior, how much is your, film development, watching film on a personal level maybe increased, or is that something you've always constantly really wanted to do?
Yeah, it does increase. I mean, when you're a freshman, I mean, you don't know what you're looking at. You're just like, okay, they do this and that. But you pick up on certain tendencies as you get older, and with coaches helping you out and giving you little tips about watching film, you just start picking up things like when they were in that 2-by-2 formation, the slot guys always run they run seams, but they bend it on the inside, and that's why I jump inside and couple pick. And I mean, just great film studying, evaluation tests and stuff like that just helps us out a lot.
Kemal, what were some of the breakdowns defensively in that game against Southern Miss? So there were some areas that, as a defense, you weren't happy with some of the plays they got. I know Coach O'Leary was kind of upset about some of those chunk plays they got, especially in the overtime period when they were pushed back and had a big game. What were some of the things that you guys saw on tape?
Yeah, just little mistakes, little breakdowns in coverages, and just overall, I mean, everybody, it contributes with everybody, from the D-line to the linebackers to the secondary. We have to stay as one and just keep pushing through and fix little mistakes and not worry about what just happened, but worry about the next play and just getting past all the past stuff and all that stuff. We just have to keep pushing forward and look for the positives and try to find a way to win.
What carries over this week more, you think? The negatives of the game and focusing on that and correcting those, or can you carry momentum over from a big play and winning? Does that kind of override almost, some of the bad feelings from the first 4 quarters?
Yeah, I mean, negatives and positives. We found out who our character guys are and who's going to be with us and who's going to keep pushing, and we're just grateful for everything, but we have to look towards the negatives and fix the negatives, because the positives will always be there, but we just have to fix the negatives and get the little things right so we can be a complete team.
I know Southern Miss had that winless record, but after facing them and seeing what their quarterback was able to do, what was your impression of Southern Miss after that game? Do you think they're a pretty good offense, or what did you think about the quarterback?
A whole week of practice, coach was telling us throw the records out the window because Southern Miss is a good team, great athletes. They just haven't been able to finish games like we did last year, but they have a good team, good athletes. They have a couple seniors on that team who have been playing for 4 years, and they're pretty good. They make a lot of plays. And just like Memphis, they have a lot of athletes. They make a lot of plays, but just fall short of the win.
Quincy, Blake has gone several games now without a pick. He's spreading the ball around to several different receivers. You guys are making big plays to catch the ball. Is the offense kind of set? Running backs are playing well. Is the offense kind of settling into a groove the last few weeks as far as knowing, finding those ways to pick apart defenses?
Yeah, it's like as we get in the season, we started out, but we have built chemistry over the summer, and as the season went on and practice, we do repetition, everything else, and like I said, build that chemistry. And I feel like Blake has matured a lot, and receivers as well, running backs, and we're very versatile on both, in the backfield and at the receiver position as well. So that's where it's come in, the way we make plays and things happen.
Does it help the offense too that there's so many weapons out there that teams can't key on, a lot of teams were focused on you last year and stuff, trying to shut you down. They were able to kind of slow down the offense a little bit. It seems like there's more, you know, everybody gets the ball, can make a big play. Is that by design, or is that just kind of happenstance?
That's just like, in the way it's designed, this is an advantage to us, because like, as you say, like, it can't kill one person, because being at the fact that we have so many weapons, running backs, receivers, like, all this brings something different to the table. And we try to put us in a position where we're able to make plays and go out and just execute the game plan and just go from there.
Quincy, you're a speed guy. When you see Storm, though, turn a corner like that, you impressed by his speed at all? You know, what he's able to do?
Yes, I'm impressed because he's quick and he's shifty, and I like what he brings out to the field. Like, he can make the guy miss, and he's a very, like, powerful running back, and I like the way he plays.
Southern Miss was the halfway point of your sixth game. How would you sort of, I guess, rate or grade the offense after the first six? You guys happy where you're at, or can you put a grade on that? I don't know if you think in those terms, but how would you say the offense has done?
I mean, it's work that we need to improve on, but, like, I'm grateful and I'm, like, thankful for my teammates and everything else. Obviously, like I said, there's some things we have to work on, and the talent, everything is there. We just got to continue to push and just move forward.
Quincy, players around the country don't necessarily get the luxury of having the same coaching staff, coordinators each and every year. You've been with Charlie Taft now here since your career started. How valuable is that to know going into each year that offense has the same type of continuity?
I mean, it's very valuable because, like, the same, like, every year, it's like, we already know, like, with Coach Taft, it's like he brings something different, and we, like, built that, we already, like, bonded, or and got that chemistry, and so it's like, I mean, it's a comfortable feeling, and we already know, like, what to expect at times, and we just go out there and try to make it happen.
Because he's what you want your football team to look like on the defensive side of the ball. He'll strike you, he can do a lot of things for you, and he's a quick study. You don't have to sit down and draw things on a chalkboard for him. You know, he can talk to me, he understands concepts, which you would expect a senior to do. I have some seniors that don't, but he's one that does.
He started as a freshman. Did you see those tendencies early on right away?
Well, I saw it, but there was no one else when he got here, so it was sort of at a default a little bit there, but he sure played well, and what he's gotten better with is his vision and his awareness, which is expected from an experience standpoint. But, you know, I have nothing but great praise for the way he handles himself off the field, on the field, pretty much within the whole program. You know, he's been a pleasure to be around, and I know he's probably one of the most respected kids on the team.
Justin pointed in his first year in Memphis. What are some of the changes you've seen out of that Memphis team
Well,
this
you
year?
know, I know they're 1-5, but you know, I think the big thing is when you break I get a chance to look at all the games. When you look at the games, they've gotten better and better and better, and they've closed the gap in the score against their opponents. So they're getting better in all the phases, offense, defense, and the kicking game. And he has enough experience, and again, Memphis is going to have good, skilled athletes, and I think the big thing that I've seen is that, you know, you can see what they're trying to get accomplished on film. That's how I look at coaches. You know, if I can see what they're trying to get accomplished when they call a play or run a certain scheme, you know, I think the coaches are on the right track as far as setting the program, and I think he's done a good job. Now, again, the wins and losses, what everybody else looks at. I don't. I look at are the kids playing with coaching behind them, and they are. When you watch the film on, some situations they hurt themselves, and others they turn the ball over, which is what most teams that end up losing games do. But again, you know, it's a game that, you know, we got to go up and play. It's our next opponent, and as I tell our players, you respect everybody you play, and then they will. I mean, I think last week I told them all week, throw the record out the door with Southern Miss, and I think Southern Miss found the quarterback last week, and I think I'll be surprised if Southern Miss doesn't win every game, most of the games down the road right now. I think the confidence there, and again, when I looked at the tape, you know, we just didn't play well in some tackling situations and some third down situations. You just can't do that, and again, that's been addressed with the defensive players and staff as far as, you know, you got to be productive on third down, offensively and defensively, and that's what has to be accomplished.
Can you help a football team to be involved in an emotional game like it was last week?
Well, you know, I've been involved in overtime games before elsewhere, but I think the big thing is that it's not a big change. When they put the ball in the 25, everything's first score wins. It's basically, you have the opportunity to go on offense or defense or pick an end of the field, and we went on defense because we want to know what you have to do to win the game. And again, I thought that when they scored, then we came back out and scored in 4 or 5 plays. I think that was outstanding. I think that was the explosion that was needed on the sideline. Hey, let's go get this game. And then, of course, I changed the field position. I went down to our student body for the second possession, which to try and get the noise involved. And the student body did a great job of creating some factor that way, and that's what you got to continue to do. But again, great play by Kemal and a great touchdown by our offense too. So they produced when they had to produce, and that's all you can ask them. But again, I think it's a great fan game. I mean, you don't want to be too old sitting watching games like that, but I think that overtime is, I like the overtime. The only thing I don't like about it is sort of takes the rest of the kicking game out of there. All right, and if you have a ball control, and really the way you think about it is not big plays down there, but just getting first downs. The teams that get in trouble want to wing it downfield and either get a sack, a holding call, and then all of a sudden now you have a field goal range. So, again, that's stuff that is good experience for us, and I'm sure there won't be the first overtime. We'll see.